Chris Watkin here, joined by Russell Quirk. Russell, do you think most estate agents know the CEOs of the big firms in estate agency in the UK?
No, I don't think they do. Obviously, there's been a lot of changes, isn't there, of late?
Okay.
No, but look, back in the day, you knew who the big bosses were, and they were tended to be big property figures. But now it seems that shareholders want to ship in a kind of a private equity guy or someone from some corporate corner somewhere, and I think it's all become quite anonymised. The issue, of course, is that those CEOs, so whether it's Nick Budden at Foxtons or whether it's Vic Darby at Purple Bricks, etc., they don't really cover themselves in glory in terms of being out there and being visible. So, if you're not being interviewed by people like you, or Estate Agent Today, or me, I mean, I guess me, but why would you want to be interviewed by me? But Estate Agent Today, Property Industry Eye, Negotiator, if you're not being scrutinised, or even just saying to a journalist, let me just extol the virtues of my business and my product. I want to just do a puff piece. Don't give me a hard time. But they don't even do that. So there's no written interviews that I've seen, and certainly nothing in the way of broadcast, no podcasts, no video interviews. And I think it's really quite bemusing why some of these highly paid, publicly listed company CEOs seem to be so anonymous.
I mean, don't get me wrong, but you've got your Connells at Leighton Buzzard and you've got your LSLs. They don't need to do that because they're running a bloody good operation.
But I think they do need to do it, and it's some of them have got investors that they might have a dialogue with, but they're not going to be talking to all of their their public market investors, because some of them are small retail people. So a message to investors, a message to customers, but importantly, a message to staff. If the staff see that the CEO is visible and is doing a media round every now and again, I think that promotes culture. That means that's the guy.
Culture's king, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. That guy, therefore, he or she is at the head of the business, and I'm really proud of the fact that they go on to Sky News or the Watkin Sofa, whatever it might be, to talk about the business and the trials and the troubles and the successes and so on. I think they have an obligation to, but why on earth would they want to hide away?
I mean, I must admit, I interviewed David Westgate from Andrews literally 3 days before the first lockdown, and the feedback I've had from Andrews' staff has been truly amazing.
Yeah. But some people don't even know the personality of their boss. So, tell me how many of the 600 or so LPEs in Purple Bricks have ever had a conversation with Vic Darby? Do they know what his voice sounds like? Do they know, what his vernacular is? Do they know what his attitude to things is? They don't. So, if there was more, and I'm not saying this just because it's a convenient thing for a guy like me in PR to say, there's a difference. Here's the thing, right? There's a difference between management and leadership, right? And I think most of us understand that there's a differentiation. I think some of these guys, Nick Budden, Vic Darby and whoever else, they're management, they're not leaders. Now, you've got to be in a business that's going through trials and tribulations, with a backdrop of the uncertainty of Brexit and COVID and so on. Haven't you got to be a leader in your business? Be visible, have a personality, and yes, start to kind of use that to promote culture. And I think some of the problems that these businesses have are kind of self-inflicted on the basis that people think, well, who's the boss? What does he stand for? What does she think? I've got no idea. And I think it's surprising and very, very sad that it's almost become endemic now. And maybe PR advice at these big businesses, maybe the PR companies that they're employing or shareholders say, look, you're better off just saying nothing, just in case you say something that becomes an issue. But that they should actually learn. There's a lot of people in corporate history, the likes of Richard Branson and Elon Musk and so on, that actually have built their businesses based on their personalities, on their leadership acumen, and their PR. Tesla, now one of the most famous and highly valued businesses in the world, Tesla have never spent any money on marketing, ever. It's all been driven through PR and effectively cultural, the kind of cultural approach and messaging of Elon Musk. Now, I'm not suggesting that everyone follows that necessarily to the letter, or that it can be done, but at least a version of that. You know, brands should have a figurehead, all brands, and if not, I think people should be suspicious about why not.
If you are a CEO of a firm in a state agency and you would like to come and sit on the Watkin Sofa, I guarantee you there is no cost to be sat there and you get full editorial control. Thank you for your time today.